Everybody, it's your boy Just Hockey back with another video, guys. You know it. Anyways, guys, today I'm talking about how I got my driver's license and the road it took. So I took driver's ed in sophomore year of high school, and so we did a lot of my teacher played a lot of those videos, about safe driving and stuff. Well, the Florida is not really known for their good drivers. And let's just say the videos kind of freaked the fuck out of me, like they were supposed to do. So for about 5 years, I didn't want to learn to drive. I was 15 when I got my permit. I passed my test, my driver's not my driver's test, but my learner's permit test in class, which was pretty cool because when if you take, I'm not sure if you have the same way that my teacher did it, but like when you passed the test and he told you passed the test, you walked up, he handed you a paper that you go to either the DMV or the tax collector's office or whatever, or the government or the court system, and they can get your permit done, or then you get but when he gives you the paper, you take the paper and you shake his hand. That's what I did. I shook my teacher's hand, which is also would later become my gym teacher. He was one of the coolest teachers I've ever had. His name was Mr. Primus. Yet he was not my favorite teacher in high school. I told you my favorite teacher was my teacher, Mr. Brown. He was my history teacher, and I had him for two other classes. I had him for African American history, U.S. history, and world geography in senior year. So where was I at in the story of my? Oh yeah. So around I was taking after you took my test. We went out with a couple of student driving company, and I was horrible at it. Like I fucked up the entire driving course they gave you. I maybe passed maybe like three things, and I practiced. I did. I really did. I practiced really hard. I tried my best. Um, and I still was like, I didn't want to learn. Like, I didn't want to learn. I wanted to learn. I just didn't want to drive because I was more afraid of, the accidents. And I've gotten into about two accidents since I got my license. And one was a minor one. Well, technically three, if you count the one with this mailbox that I'll tell you maybe in this video or another video. Maybe tomorrow I'll tell you the mailbox story. Or three. But I'll tell you the story. Okay. Anyways, so I'm driving. So it takes about now. I'm going on my senior year, and still haven't taken my driver's test. And my parents are getting mad at me. And now I'm going into college. Going to college, and I still haven't taken my driver's test. My parents are again. Probably was in my third year of college. No, second year of college, when I was supposed to be given my test. I was going out with this company like every few years, and I found and funny fact, my first job I worked for a group called Cutco, which a company called Cutco, which sells special like knives and like stuff like that. Second job I worked for Starbucks. Um, Around the time I got a month before I got my license, I got fired from Starbucks for some bullshit ass thing. I might tell you that story. Actually, I will tell you the story later on after this video. After I upload this video, I will make a video on how I got fired from Starbucks. Anyways, back to the videos as I was saying. Where was I at? Oh yeah. I'm with this company for about now 3 or 4 years. I've been doing with this company for about 3 or 4 years after I had learned my life, I got my permit, and my permit had expired in 2021, I believe. Yeah, 2021. So I'm driving on the road, and I'm doing really well. Like I'm now I'm just time for me. He's teaching me the guy who took me out. He's teaching me it's the test. He's teaching me on our test here. We have 5 things you gotta do. One is a 3-point hand turn or 3-point turn, which is just like turning around a car basically from a straight from it going in a side position back to a straight position, going straight, um, or going the opposite direction. So let's say you're going straight and you want to go the other way, you do a 3 point hand turn, or a U turn another way, and that's how you do a 3 point turn. And it's just involves you using the reverse and the drive function of your car, while also using the steering wheel. Um, then we needed then there was the quick stop, which is basically you speed up the car 20 miles per hour and stop, put your foot on the brake and stop immediately. That's all you gotta do. Then there's the parking portion, which is pretty easy. All you have to do is park the car straight without hitting the cones that they had set up for you in the area. As long as you don't hit the cones with the front side of the car or the side of the car, but you hit it with the back. But you hit it with your, say you hit the cones with your back, you would pass the test. Um, Another thing on our test was called the driving in reverse 50 feet. Now, for me, this one was I think the most challenging one, because I'm a person who doesn't like to do this. Like, it hurts my neck. It really does. And what I had to do basically was sit literally. You're supposed to put the car in reverse, drive normal speed, like 1 mile an hour, and back up 50 feet while having your arm like this. Okay, like doing this, and you're not supposed to look back until the instructor tells you, that's it. That's good. If you look back before that's you do that, you will you are failed the test automatically. And that's basically what's on the test, I believe. Yeah, that's all was on the test. 3 point turn, quick stop, driving thing, uh, turn signals. Oh yeah, and there was a couple questions yet they ask you about, like, if you're parking on a great angle, or like a parking uphill, which way do you turn on the car? Which way do you put on the emergency brake, and which way do you point the wheels? There you go. Um, so yeah, that's like, and so here's the test itself. Um, what was that? What was the video you were supposed to do after this? Anyways, the teacher, not the teacher. What was I gonna say? Shit. So I'm going. I've been in this company a while, and it comes down to my test day. But yeah, I'm not gonna do the Starbucks thing. How I got fired now. I remember. I got the, what's it called, the day of the code is before a test, and I'm practicing like crazy without my instructor. I'm usually borrowing my dad's car. He's taking me out. So the day before the day of the test, it's about, my test is at 2 in the afternoon, and my dad's home for a little bit. So I asked my dad early in the morning, can we go out and practice real quick? So we go to our clubhouse, which is in our neighborhood, and I practice in the parking lot. And I'm ready for the test. I said, I'm ready for the test. Okay. So the guy who actually, the company who does it, they pick you up after when it's time for your test, and they take you to your test and then drive you home. Okay, in the car. They also allow you to use the car that you took in your practice, and they drove you in. So that's what they did, and I took I went in there. The Took me about 15 minutes to get seated. It was in the tax collector's office in Hope Sound, Florida. I get my picture taken to get my test, so I get my license if I pass, which I did. But I'll tell you that part of the story. Let me finish this part. And I actually had to screw up the first. I screwed up the first part of the picture taking because I had my eyes closed when I took the picture. So she made me take it again. Um, Then finally, went for the test, passed. Um, I passed the first part was the 3 point turn, which I kind of screwed up and made a 2 point turn. So she gave me another chance, and I fixed it, made a 2 point, 3 point turn, did it down. Did the quick stop, passed it. Uh, I did the looking back thing, and I passed it. I was so happy when she finally said. I was like, I was doing this. I'm like, come on, come on, come on. My neck is hurting. My neck is hurting. My neck is hurting. And then I'm like, I'm gonna look if she doesn't say it in 3 seconds. I'm looking in 3, and she says, okay, you're good. I put the car back in. I stopped the car and put it in drive, and then we drive back to the parking lot where she had put the cones for the parking part. I drive, park the car. She looks at me, does something, and says, "Great job, really good." No, excuse me, I'm gonna go out. I have to go fix the cones you just hit. And I'm like, shit. Well, I failed. I fucking failed. I'm fucked. I failed. And we get back into the tax collector's office, and I'm sitting there with the guy. We're waiting. 5 minutes, 2 minutes go by, no sign of her. 3 minutes go by, no sign of her. Another 3 minutes go by, no sign of her. 5 more minutes go by, no sign of her. I'm thinking that I failed, and she's laughing at how bad I failed with other coworkers. I failed. It's over. I failed. 7 minutes later, she comes to her desk, looks at me, looks at my paper, looks back at me, and says, "You passed." And I'm like, "Wait, what? I did what now?" She's like, "Could you repeat that? You passed. You got a 94, which is like 5 points. You have to get 100. I got 5 and 1 point taken away. That's basically what happened to me. I got 5 and 1 point taken away. And the 1 point that was taken away was for the 2 point turn, and the 4 points taken away was for hitting the cone with the back end of my car, which I did only with the back end of my car. And that's how I got my license. I passed. I got my license. It was actually Memorial Day, I believe, or for some weekend. I don't know what it was. It was like a Memorial Day or some holiday. I forgot what it was. Said happy holidays. She said I'll try, and that was it. I got my license, and that's how I got my That's how I got my license, and now I've been driving since the age of 20. So yeah, I've been driving for 2 years, and now I'll tell you after I upload this video, how I got fired from Starbucks. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.